Army hand-to-hand combat is a Soviet martial art developed in the late 1970s for the military and tested with Soviet airborne troops, emphasizing stand-up combat, both striking and grappling techniques, and the use of throws. An opponent is down quickly. Stay with us to know more. The foundation of modern East Asian martial arts and South Asian martial arts is likely facilitated by cultural exchanges of early Chinese and Indian martial arts. During the Warring States period of Chinese history, extensive development in martial philosophy and strategy emerged as described by Sun Tzu in The Art of War. Legendary accounts link the origin of Shaolin Quan to the spread of Buddhism from ancient India during the early 5th century CE, with the figure of Bodhidharma to China. Written evidence of martial arts in southern India dates back to the Sangam literature of about 2nd century BCE to the 2nd century AD. The combat techniques of the Sangam period were the earliest precursors to Kalaripayattu. Certain traditional combat sports and fighting styles exist all over the world, rooted in local culture and folklore. The most common of these are styles of folk wrestling, some of which might have been practiced since antiquity and are found in the most remote areas. Other examples include forms of stick fighting and boxing. While these arts are based on historical traditions of folklore, they're not historical in the sense that they reconstruct or preserve a historical system from a specific era. They're rather contemporary regional sports that coexist with the modern forms of martial arts sports, as they have been developed since the 19th century, often including cross-fertilization between sports and folk styles. Thus, the traditional Thai art of Muay Boran developed into a modern national sport of Muay Thai, which in turn came to be practiced worldwide and contributed significantly to modern hybrid styles like kickboxing and mixed martial arts. Single stick, an English martial art, can be seen often used in Morris dancing. It incorporates many functional elements from the arsenal of army-style hand-to-hand combat and martial arts styles from around the world and is intended for use in a combat environment. It's a relatively modern and rapidly developing style of martial arts, and as a combat sport, it has become popular for full contact while offering relatively little risk of injury. Unlike combat sambo competitions, which take place on a standard wrestling mat, ARB competitions require a 10x10m tatami-like square. The origin of ARB as a military-applied martial art dates back to 1979, when the first championship for airborne troops was held at the sports base of the 7th Guard Airborne Division in the city of Kansas settlement, Gaizuinai Military Unit number 42235. Since then, the Airborne Troops ARB Championship has been held annually. ARB was developed by experts and fitness enthusiasts and was played as a game by the Soviet Army. It was successfully introduced into the Soviet Army to train soldiers. Conducting the first championship in ARB would not have been possible without the long-term practice in various types of single combat trials. Black belt rated athletes and prize winners of competitions in sambo, boxing, wrestling, judo, and other fighting sports were carefully selected to participate in one of the games of the ARB. The methodical work of warriors and commanders also inspired the origin of the martial arts widely known today as Army hand-to-hand combat. At the time, the early 1970s, the actual training of regular soldiers for hand-to-hand combat was named a program of preparation of instructors in sports and special reception of landings. A distinctive part of ARB that sets it apart from other full-contact single combat martial arts is the possibility of finishing hands and feet with the opponent from a standing position. The opponent may call stop, as some kicks to the opponent's head may not be protected by the helmet and may cause heavy damage that immediately disrupts the match. Kicking an opponent's head knocks down the fighter who inflicted the blow. Fights are played on a square carpet not smaller than 14 by 14 meters. Fights take place in squares with fighting zones bordered at 8 by 8 meters or 10 by 10 meters. The outer zone of the carpet serves for the safety of the players and is not less than 3 meters in size. A knockout of fighters stops the carpet fight and the stop command is issued. The judge will then issue a fighters to the middle command, which instructs the players to move to the center or middle of the carpet. Therefore, if one or more of the fighters are knocked out on the carpet, including the safety zone, and the fight ends outside the fighting square, such a reception is assumed and the fight is stopped according to the general rules. Fighters are broken down by age of fighters up to 18 years and the division into age categories depending on the location of the competition and weight categories, starting from weight up to 16 kilograms and above 90 kilograms in 5 kg steps. Sometimes under the initial adjustment, there may only be 2 weight categories, 75 kg and over 75 kg, only for adults in local tournaments. Fighters are divided into fighters with a red and dark blue belt, and in some cases, fighters in a black or white gi. The warrior whose title appears first in the summary table wears a red belt. A fighter needs a second who's responsible for the player's ammo during duels to fasten a helmet, fix overlays, a guard, a belt to tie kimono, and other. Fixed, as a fighter is not independently positioned ammo time correction issue fixed. During a duel, the second sits on a chair behind one of the fighter's places. Thus, it's forbidden for the latter to give any order or counsel to the warrior during a conflict. Comments can be made for conversation with the second fighter, and repeated violations resistance. The equipment used in competition: a kimono, a heel protector and leg lifter, an overlay on the shin, a groin cup, a protective waistcoat protector, gloves, knee protectors, arm and elbow protectors, a metal mesh helmet. Protective regiments, except gloves and a helmet, are placed under the kimono. The fight consists of 1 round and lasts for teenagers, youth and juniors, pure time 2 minutes, for men in all final fights 3 minutes pure time. Pre-tournament meetings of command representatives may reduce the duration of girls' and women's matches. Such technical actions are assumed: blows by hands, blows by feet, throwing and painful reception. Clashes and struggles in the orchestra are not assumed but are individually considered equal to points, as in the sambo wrestling activity. Prohibited techniques concern drawing injuries with fingers on the eyes, carrying a neck, spine, a brush, suffocating capture and painful reception in the legs, leaping feet and stomping blows on false contestants, injuries to the groin, neck, and joints of the feet and hands, a nape and a spine, painful reception in the rack, capture for a helmet or a helmet lattice. In Europe, the earliest sources of martial arts traditions date to ancient Greece. Boxing, wrestling pale, and pancration were represented in the ancient Olympic Games. The Romans produced gladiatorial combat as a public spectacle. Several historical combat manuals have survived from the European Middle Ages. This includes such styles as sword and shield, two-handed sword fighting, and other types of melee weapons besides unarmed combat. Amongst these are transcriptions of Johannes Literature's mnemonic poem of the longsword dating back to the late 14th century. Likewise, Asian martial arts became well documented during the medieval period, Japanese martial arts beginning with the establishment of the samurai nobility in the 12th century, Chinese martial arts with the Ming era treatises such as Ji Xiao Xin Shu, Indian martial arts in medieval texts such as the Angi Purana and the Mala Purana, and Korean martial arts from the Joseon era and texts such as Muyejibo 1598. European swordsmanship has always had a sporting element, but dueling was always a possibility until the First World War. Modern sports fencing began to develop in the 19th century when French and Italian military academies began to codify instruction. The Olympic Games led to standard international rules with Federation International de Escrima, founded in 1913. Modern boxing originates with Jack Broughton's rules in the 18th century and reaches its present form of the Marquis of Queensberry rules of 1867.